Oh! Look at that.
Ooh.
We're gonna bring the Gary Priest, the Jeeps.
Ooh, Jeeps.
Here comes a rambling crew, Jerry, Eddie, Cody, too. Talking geek and crushing puss, movies, games, 70s bush. Here comes a rambling squad, the others just talking gods. Never cheesy, never bore, contract tied to Skeletor. Here comes a rambling team, making all the hell is cream. Got all the greatest nerd chat, the rambles where it's at. And then Jeeps leaves us time to just enjoy the song, too.
Let's not forget that part of it.
There it is. Look at us. Wow. Welcome to another Ramble, the Geek's Guide to Pop Culture. We are the Geeks. This is Ramble Radio, our supplemental twice a week, Tuesday, Friday. This is Fridays.
Friday.
We are the Geeks.
Ramble Radio.
I'm comedian Jerry Rocha. Right there. Over there. We got the one and only.
Comedian Eddie Pence.
From Vegas.
From
Still.
Vegas. Live via satellite from Vegas.
How much money have you lost? Come on. What are you gambling on? What are you putting it down on? Talk to me. Is it bad? Is
to
it
gamble.
bad?
I've just gotten a lot of happy endings.
Okay. Which
Like
in itself is a different kind of gamble.
6 or 7 a day. 6 or 7 a day.
And you didn't even wait for your wife to go home.
No. I invited her. I was like, come on. You can get one too.
Did she just throw cold water on that and not go?
Yeah. She's like, I don't want to do that. That's gross. Or whatever. I'll go.
Jesus.
More for me.
Yeah, have
More for
fun,
me.
prude. Have fun with
More
the
happy
Amish.
endings for me.
Have fun boinking the Amish. Jesus Christ. Do you gamble at all when you're there? Do you fuck with it at all?
I used to gamble a lot. I don't. Like last time I was here.
What was your gamble of choice?
I'm a blackjack player. I love blackjack.
Oh, because the odds are not half bad.
Well,
The
it's
odds,
the
when it comes to everything else.
Right. Outside of poker, it takes some thinking. Like there's some strategy, some thinking about it. Like craps and slot machines and roulette are just fucking random.
Just luck. Dumb luck. Yeah.
Blackjack, you can it's still odds favor the house, but still you can sort of you can kind of maybe get by a little bit. I don't know. But I don't really gamble that much anymore. I just don't have the money to do it. If I had the expendable
I'm saying, look, what I do when I'm there, because I'm not really a gambling person, but when I'm in Vegas, if it's during football season, I will go put $20 on a game. And I usually will end up winning like 100, and that to me that's like I won $1 million. I'm like, hey, fuck, there you go. I'm happy. And if I lose, 20 fucking bucks. You know, like I'll be.
I might gamble a little bit, maybe tonight or tomorrow night. I got a hundo. I might put a hundo on.
Got a handout down.
Handout, babe. Put a hand on it.
Well, Eddie, before we spoke today on the Ramble, please again subscribe to the Ramble. Give it a 5-star rating, a positive text review. You can email us ramble@theramblepod.com. We have our merch page, TeePublic, right there. You can email us ramble@theramblepod. You can follow us on Instagram @podcast ramble, and we're also on YouTube. You can see our pretty faces on the Ramble team. And 5-star rating, positive text if you subscribe.
Do it.
We have a new non-chump.
Ooh.
Scissor Lord is back.
Scissor Lord
has returned to claim.
Is that a shot at Peanut Butter Kid? Has he thrown a shot across the bow?
Scissor Lord actually put one before Peanut Butter Kid.
Okay.
Scissor Lord's been around for a minute. We've had Scissor Lord more than once. So this is 5 stars, best podcast ever. This podcast is a revelation. From the moment the host started speaking, I was hooked. Their voices are like velvet, smooth and seductive, sending shivers down my spine. The way they talk is both informative and incredibly arousing. I found myself hanging on to their every word, completely captivated by their voices. This is a perfect podcast to finger bang to. Anytime me and the missus get a little steamy, I throw this on to get me to the finish line. Thanks for
that takes you home,
content.
baby. The Ramble takes you home.
Lord. Look at Scissor Lord.
Ramble takes you home.
Do we appreciate Scissor Lord for, dare I say, having the courage to say out loud what everyone else is too afraid to say and thinking?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
we give him that.
Thand you, Scissor Lord.
The voice of the voiceless, Scissor Lord. Voice of the voiceless.
Lord. Don't let Scissor Lord be alone. Let's get those in. 5-star rating, positive text review.
On.
Thank you again to all you new listeners and the Potter found us through Potteration. the Great Potteration Network. Eddie.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing I want to talk about. So I really want to talk about the Transformers today.
You didn't discuss this when you flew out here for our breakfast this morning.
No, I didn't. When it was a table of just naked waiters. Remember, naked people.
You flew out here
tables.
for our pre-pro breakfast.
Remember
and
where
then
you
flew
just
back
eat
home.
off naked people. You just eat off naked supermodels.
Everything's naked.
To be tables. Right.
Yeah. And then you flew back home to record.
Flew back home. It's could have driven. Just thought I'd be more wasteful. Yeah. Could have drove. Thought I'd just be as wasteful as human. Took a Concorde. Do you know that? Took a Concorde.
I didn't know that. You brought a Concorde out of retirement just to fly.
Brought the Concorde out of retirement. It was like a 2.5 minute flight. It was fantastic. Wasted gallons of fuel. Dude, we want to talk Transformers, but because I think to tell you why we're talking Transformers on today's Ramble Radio, you ready for this? The 500th Ramble Radio. 500, babe. We should have done this live somewhere, shouldn't we have? The Sphere. We should have done this live at the Sphere.
When you were out here for breakfast, we should have just done it at the Sphere.
I don't know why you flew home. Kicked out the Eagles or whoever's there tonight.
Whoever the fuck is there. They'll bow out. Ramble's here for
we wouldn't even have to ask. Are you kidding? We wouldn't even have to. Don Henley would be like, he would have see us walk in and go, right. He would have apologized. We're really sorry. We forgot you were coming up on Ramble Radio 500.
We didn't know.
The Sphere is
our mistake. We're going to fire a manager right now for this horrible.
The Sphere is yours.
It's horrible injustice.
The Sphere is yours. And then to all the people who are new, you have to listen to older rambles to understand what we're talking about. But to all of our loving ramblers, Eddie, they'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah. When you did now. The Eagles were at the Sphere in Vegas for a while. They might still be there for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just for the fun of it, do you go, let me just walk over with the harmonica, see if Don and the boys want me to play a little bit? Or are they too intimidated? You can be honest.
I don't really want, from me,
right,
and my own personal taste, I don't want to mix my harmonica playing in with that Eagles crap movie.
Okay.
I don't want to combine. I don't want to, by chance, uplift their music. I don't want to raise their music up to my level by accident.
That, and what happened? Was it awkward? Was it weird? But you were years ago at a party, and you were playing the Hotel California solo with one nostril on your harmonica and just using one finger.
It's actually not quite
and that
true.
I also heard that Don Felder and Joe Walsh, the two guitarists who played that solo, were there, and you didn't know they were there. So what? Can you shed some light on this?
There's like a half truth buried in there.
Okay.
What happened was I was at a party, goofing off.
Sure.
Always life of the party. That's who I am.
How could you not? Especially when you got that harmonica.
Right.
Especially when you got that harmonica.
And I always have a spare harmonica in my sock. Right. And I pulled it out.
Is that for good luck?
No, you'll see in a minute. I always use the spare harmonica. It's the one I play in my ass cheeks.
There it is.
Right. I don't want to mix up the mouth harp with the butt harp.
You can never do that. We can never do that.
So I put that one. I get up on the coffee table. I drop trow. I put the harmonica between my cheeks.
Sure.
And I fart. I just fart. I'm not trying to do anything. I just fart. And what would come to be known later on was the tune for Hotel California.
Oh, my God. You gave them the...
I literally farted that tune. That tune is nothing more than a fart. And then they happened to be there, and they wrote it down, and they took it off and made Hotel California. So just every time you hear Hotel California, just know that's the sound of a fart.
Were they mad at you? Were you mad at them for stealing your
No, because it's fucking a fart. I don't even care. And the fact that people like that song.
Wow.
Because it sounds like a fart to me every time I hear it.
Wow, look at that. Look at this. Eddie Pence just shedding some... Well, now... So before that, real quick, though we're on music, I had a hair up my ass thinking, I had like 4 Van Halen songs stuck in my head this morning, which isn't uncommon, but it was all the Hagar era.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like...
I'm working this week at Brad's, and Fraser Smith is the host, right?
Yes.
He's hosting this week.
Yep.
Longtime disc jockey, the original shock jock.
Yeah.
He broke Van Halen.
That's right. He would play them on K. That's right.
He broke. David Lee Roth climbed into the K-Rock used to be in this. This was a story he was telling me. K-Rock used to be in a hotel suite in Pasadena. They broadcast out of a hotel suite. That's how small it was. And David Lee Roth kept climbing every week. Would climb up the balcony and give Fraser the tape. And he's like, "Can you play?" It wasn't even an album. It was just a press. It was a press.
Fucking amazing.
It was a test press, and he's like, "Can you play it?" And Fraser kept going, "Fuck off, get out of here, fuck off, get out of here." And literally at one point, he's like, "All right, fine," and he put it on, and the rest is history.
Wow,
that's how he broke Van Halen.
How embarrassed is Fraser that he said no to that like 40 times? When you look back,
but the thing was, he had like so many.
Right, he had every. And
he also broke Motley Crue.
Yeah,
too.
That's crazy.
Motley Crue did the same thing. Kept giving him tapes, and he's like, "All right, fine, fuck it, I'll play one."
I don't mind the Sammy Hagar shit. Isn't that weird? I don't mind it. I was just like, fucking.
Right now's a jam. Right now's a.
I
can't drive.
No, fucking great. Well, that was before Van Halen. But,
that's right. That's
right. But like fucking I think one of my all-time favorite Van Halen songs is the "Come on, baby, finish what you started. I'm incomplete, baby. Come on." That's a fucking jam.
I mean, it's not. Hagar Halen isn't the same as David Lee Roth Halen.
No. Roth is clearly
not trying to go
superior.
there.
But again, you appreciate Hagar more when you knew what happened afterwards. When you saw what was coming.
Yeah.
You knew, like, oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
But man, I tell you, dude. So Born to Run, Anthony Flores, Born to Run 19, a good rambler, damn fine rambler. Someone who watches my streams too, damn fine human.
A loyalist, Jerry loyalist.
A Ramble loyalist. He was
a Ramble loyalist.
He had sent me this video series where there's this dude who breaks down every facet of the Transformers.
Okay.
And we got fucking gypped. It feels like what the Americans got with Transformers was just like this little morsel.
Little slice. It was like pinhole. This little tiny pinhole.
It was like just like 3 sliders. Whereas Japan had like a fucking burger.
Had the hometown buffet. They had the hometown buffet, the Golden Corral. They had the Golden Corral of Transformers.
It's fascinating to see just how much is there. Like it's and what's interesting about Transformers, and the guy points out in the video too, is there's no continuity to it. This isn't like Star Wars, where this is what this is like every new cartoon. It's a different origin. It's a different.
Right.
And I is that good or bad to you? Like, does that make you go, God damn it? Or is that easier to jump on? Or would you be like, I would rather see.
Personally, it's me. I like, and that was always my issue with comic books.
Yeah.
Once like a run would be over and they would jump into something else or they do a restart or something. And like, I know you can't take like Superman can't be the same storyline from when he fucking debuted to right
80
now.
years.
For 80 years, you can't have. Same with Batman. You can't have this. So I know it's got to start over or jump off somewhere or have a new storytelling. Right. But I like continuity. I like what's called what they consider canon. Like I like that because I like one concise storyline.
I do too. It's like
I like the sacred timeline. And
I as much as I loved the Marvel Ultimate Universe, I was like, well, can't that just stay over there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I enjoy the what if stuff and the ultimates and stuff like, okay, and what this is an interesting retelling or reimagination of these characters. That's cool. But I like having that one storyline where this is the home base where I can keep going.
Same. And I think it gets weird when they I kind of get tired when DC just kept doing that New 52 shit over
every
and over
year.
Again. And it's like, Jesus, fuck, we got to watch
I
Batman's
can't get
parents
invested in anything.
Like, so it's all going to change. None of this is going to matter in 12 months. It's all going to be different. And I like having because with I think with the continuity, like again, that's why I think I do want to dive into Beast Wars on Transformers and see, as bad as the animation is, as much as it does not hold up, I want to see the episode where they have to protect the Ark. And I want to see the episode where Starscream's ghost shows up. Because now it's like, whoa, shit, this is all. I love it when the shit connects, like you said. I love it when
not forced, but just like all of a sudden you're like, oh fuck, this is the same thing. This is the same universe. This is part of the story. Not forced. You don't want to watch it where it's like, they jammed this in.
My first, I think, slice of that of like going, wait a minute. is this what was when I'm sure I missed a few references, but big Stephen King fan, right?
Yeah.
And when I read the Gunslinger and the Dark Tower books, those are 7 books where he says this is where everything he's ever written has come from, right?
Yeah.
And it's just about this guy named Roland, who's a gunslinger, the last of his kind. Basically, if a Jedi Knight was just the last one left, but instead of a Jedi, it was just Clint Eastwood from the No Name movies. You get what I mean?
Right.
That he's just got a 6-shooter and that no magic, no powers, but he's just last guy you want to fuck with, right?
Right.
And he believes that the Dark Tower is being assaulted, and that's the center of his world. He wants to go there and reverse it so he can stop his world from dying, right?
Right.
And I believe it's the 3rd book. At the end of the first book, though, he's chasing this character called the Man in Black, and the Man in Black tells him there's just so many worlds within worlds. You have no idea, right? How vast all this is. And in the 2nd book, and then in the 3rd book, the gunslinger and his crew that he kind of picks up along the way, they start going into these different realms, right?
Yeah.
Like alternate universe, different versions of New York City, right? Things like that.
Right.
But I believe it was the 3rd book or maybe the 4th, there's a scene where they come out of this station and they're like, well, where the fuck are we? And they're walking and they just see like a fucking line of cars on a highway filled with skeletons, just like a traffic jam filled with skeletons, and a newspaper flies up, and one of the characters grabs it, and the headline just says Captain Trips is taking its toll or something like that. I'm like, that was a disease in the stand, and I'm like, holy shit, they're in the fucking stand, and like,
oh wow,
and so he starts early on in the books, he starts sprinkling, and then in other books of his. He starts so Roland is a cowboy. He just looks like a fucking cowboy. And in the book Insomnia, it's about this old man who can't sleep. He gets insomnia so bad he can't sleep for like months on end. And he starts seeing these weird little impish creatures that no one else can see. And he starts seeing people's like auras instead of their bodies. Right. And and they all have like this weird ribbon coming out of the top of their head. And these fucking imps cut the ribbon. And that means it's your time to die. And like they don't like doing it, like it's really hard on them to do this. And then one of them goes crazy and just starts fucking snipping people when it's not their time, and the old man's got to stop him. And there's a point where some character they confirm, they go, look, this guy is about to kill this one person who cannot be killed, and he's very important and he can't die right now. And they're like, well, what's so important? It's this little kid. And later on, you see the kid for one fucking scene. He's in a carnival, and this psycho is about to destroy the carnival. And the little kid is just not even paying attention. He's just always drawing. And his mom's like, hey, don't you want to see what's going on? And he goes, look, Mom, it's the man I see when I go to sleep. And it's the fucking gunslinger. It's just, and I'm like, holy shit. And that's the only mention. But it ties it all. And I love that kind of shit. And that's why it's like I was watching these videos, like I kind of want to see all this Transformers shit, but at the same time, can we just have like a G1 only? Can I just watch everything that happened in G1? Let's just make it G1
see how it goes.
And let me just end it there. I don't give a fuck about anything. The movies can go fuck off. Like and I think I'm with you. I think I appreciate. Yes, I know it gets. Sometimes it can get tough because like. God, you now with Superman, like you said, how do you tell the guy's 90? Yeah. How do you?
Batman.
How is it? Batman. How is it this? But the problem is like, I'm probably gonna get some shit for this, but a lot of that New 50, they don't really do anything different.
No, they're resetting the story so they don't have to keep going.
Right.
It just gives them a break. It gives them a finite point where
and I guess it also
and then we start
sense.
over.
Right, like how has Batman been fighting crime for 90 years and he still looks like he's 32? Right? Like I get all that. Like I get all that. Like it's just but I mean
But that's comic books. They're always in a second act. They're never
it's
never a third
fine.
act to a comic book.
And some of that continuity bending shit is fucking great. Like the when they just do their own thing with the Ultimates, when that first came out, that was incredible.
Yeah.
The ultimate.
And I like multiverse
books.
shit. I like seeing this is a different version of this.
Right.
But
right.
I want the home base to go back to.
I think I do too. I think that I do too. I think that's why I always appreciate and I guess it's when the Ultimate Universe kind of dissolved. I guess I liked how they said, okay, well, some characters will just find their way to home base. Like Miles, he deserves to be there, But it's just weird how to me, I thought the most landmark thing DC did was Crisis on Infinite Earths. I thought that was a really good way to kind of okay, we're kind of getting a bit much here. Let's just shrink everything back down to home base.
Which is fine. That's fine.
But that didn't last. It didn't last. It was
it doesn't last. It goes back out.
But anyway. Well, speaking of not lasting, we've had a lot of fun doing this Ramble Radio, but there are contractual.
Oh, Skeletor.
Here we go.
I haven't really kept up with the timeline up there with Masters of the Universe.
There's been a few different continuities there too.
Yeah, so I'm sure there has been. I remember the original, the G1, so to speak, of the animated show that I watched. What was your favorite version of Masters of the Universe?
Eddie, that's a wonderful question, and I'm glad that you've asked me that. Not many people ask me that question, and we know there's a lot of different Masters of the Universe lore, and none of it's shit without the master. You get what I'm saying? You get what the man. But my favorite was probably one that was never aired over there. It was only shown in hospitals in Turkey for children who were dying. That was the only place it made it to your planet, the nation of Turkey. They would show it for children who were dying. And it was basically the same thing that you all grew up with, except Teela, you know her, of course, the worthless slit. She, the character Teela would ride around on my dick. It was just my giant dick, and she would ride it like a horse. And she would just cluck around and ride my dick like a horse. She'd be like, well, hold on, He-Man, I can't help you. I'm about to come, because she was riding on my dick, and it was really wonderful. And a Man-at-Arms would be resting in my balls, like a baby kangaroo goes inside the pouch. And I think that was probably my favorite continuity. And only showed to dying children in Turkey, never shown anywhere else. Kind of upset me. I think the world needed to see it. And I've been rumored, Eddie, that there was 47 seasons of this show. And that's a lot. But buried. Hope they'd never see the light. And the rumor is they're buried in a place where no one can ever find them.
Yeah.
I bet you're wondering where that would be. What could be so big? Yeah. You can ask me.
Where?
He-Man's mother's pussy! Oh, but you should have seen the look on your face. Oh, you thought I was going to say like a mine somewhere. Oh, the Grand Canyon. And no, bigger.
Cinesnob Cody.
Let's get him on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's do that.
As soon as possible. Eddie, where can fine folk find you?
5 days a week, patreon.com, The Ralph Report. Tuesdays, Fridays, Ramble Radio. Wednesdays, Ramble Proper, right here on the Podderation Network.
There it is.
Also on Fridays, Not Today with Jen Sturgeon.
I can be found in all the same Ramble locales as Eddie and Cody. I'm also streaming video games. Retro Rocha on Kick and Twitch. Just my name on YouTube. Still slogging through the incredibly painfully difficult Street Fighter 2010. We might talk about that next week. Motherfucker, that's a crazy one. But until then, have a fantastic fucking weekend. If you're anywhere near Las Vegas, go see Eddie at the Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. Hit him up. He can maybe even get you a ticket or two. We'll see.
Maybe.
If they're available. That's a tough ticket. Though that shit sells out. So, all right. Love you guys. Stay safe. Enjoy the music. And we'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, that was...
Oh.
What a 500. What a 500.
Yeah. How about that?
What a 500.
500.
500, babe. Oh. So
When we hit 500 rambles,
yep.
do we at that point combine Ramble Radio with the Ramble and make it 1,000?
I think we have to.
Because that's like monumental. That's
that would be
podcasts.
huge.
We have to talk. We have to consider that.
We have to figure that out. You know, another one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Never really stuck to one fucking storyline.
Yeah, I have to have one storyline because then I keep going. Okay, how's this work into this story? I'm like,
right. Yeah,
I need to know.
I'm with you. I like it all in one place.